Hi, this is a video I wanted to make for a while. Just give some general tips on Ecuador, as this is a country I have explored quite a bit recently. I made this little map called an Ecuador map, yes. So yeah, I'm just gonna play this map a few times and yeah, just show you what I know. It's also gonna be interesting for me as a time capsule. What do I know as of now, May 2023? Yeah, maybe I will edit out the parts where I have a little skill issue. The parts where you won't learn as much. Let's see what we get. We play no moving, no time limit. Let's see what we get. Okay, this is somewhere a fairly generic locations. We have some bananas, we have some other agriculture. Not really sure what to make of this. This is definitely somewhere in the flat part over here. We have some banana plantations, but these are not bananas. It's more like individual bananas. Not that many. You get a lot of bananas here in Los Rios province. And I think that's where I'm going to guess. It was a bit further south in Guayas. Okay. Whatever. Yeah, that's just what this valley in general looks like, I would say. Okay, we have an interesting location. We have some Chevron. What is this? I have never seen a sign with a cross on the back. That's interesting, and I've looked quite a bit at different signs. That is interesting. I will need to save this location. This feels like some valley we're going up from plains into the mountains. Some valley over here. Yeah, don't really know which one. Yeah, exactly. Okay, next one we have, yeah, this should be doable. We have a highway with water north and then coast north. This should be somewhere. Do we have bollards by any chance? Yes, but it's not the cool bollards. Okay. I know a place with is it? Where actually is it? Is it like around here? That you get a lot of red, yellow chevrons, I think, but we are somewhere else. I don't really get where we are yet. I think we should be up here, but where would it make sense with a little lagoon? No water behind that. Don't really get it. Yeah, okay, I don't really get it. I'm just gonna plonk here somewhere, as I think it looks like this. Like here somewhere, maybe it's just not mapped. Yeah, okay. That looked very, very different. Interesting. I want to see what that looks like on satellite. Okay, I don't really get it. What was I looking at? Was I just looking at this or... yeah, whatever. Let's move on. Okay, this is interesting. Should be some road in the far south, likely here in Loja province, I would say. Yeah, with these dirt roads, very dusty in general. Not really dry, but more dry than the average Ecuador location. I would say this has to be some road here in the south. I don't really know which one. There are a bunch of roads here that have coverage. Let's see, yeah. Close enough, I guess. Yeah. Ooh, we have some bigger highway, big mountains all around. Yeah, this is just up in this central valley here. I guess we're just somewhere south of Quito, looking at some of these big mountains here. Let's see. I mean, I guess we just line it up. We have a bend in the north. Something like this maybe, or this. Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah, nice. Yeah, okay. Not too bad for the first game. Let's see what we get next. I will probably edit a bit, edit out some rounds as we move on. But yeah. We have something interesting again. We have a ladder pole, which is... It kind of exists everywhere. But it's not really common to see in the mountains like this. So this just looks like the south, somewhere in Loja province, I would say. Don't really know where exactly you find these chevrons. We have 4 bolts. They are kind of offset towards like the front of the chevron. Usually they are more centered. They make more of a nice rectangle in the middle of... I don't know if I explain this correctly. I will probably just include some pictures. It's also interesting that the chevron touches the edge. I don't really know which road that is. I probably knew at some point. But there are a bunch of roads with these chevrons with 4 bolts, and they are, yeah, offset towards the front. On the 69, nice. Okay, we have some very flat terrain. Maybe not that flat. I don't really know what to make of these poles. But it's kind of dry-ish. So maybe we are... I would say we might actually be close to Guayaquil here, as it is very flat with only some hills around. Maybe it is somewhere Manabi here, but it's kind of a bit too flat for that even, I think. But yeah, I mean, if I look over here, this looks like Manabi. It's pretty dry, or like just a gray beige color, everything. You find that a lot around like here and around Manta. But I think I'm gonna guess just close to Guayaquil. And yeah, it was just on the other side of the river. Okay. Don't really know why it was there, or why I guessed there. But I don't know, just being this flat in the hills, just the terrain made most sense. And it felt like we were on the edge of some bigger city. Okay, we have some road in the middle of nowhere. We have some generic pole. It's very brown, rusty colored even. Maybe I actually know this road because of this biker. Wasn't that like... Also, that was my first vibe. Some road, maybe from Puyo going inland somewhere. I don't remember where it was. I think it must have been some random roads. This one, I think. Going through the jungle. Let's see if that makes sense anywhere. That would be funny. I mean, maybe. Sure. Close enough. So yeah, that was a nice one. I will take that. Just remembering random things. My first vibe was some random small white road going off of the E45 here, east of the Andes. And yeah, I have looked at this road and somehow remembered this biker. Okay, this should be somewhere in Manabi, which is this province here. I guess we are somewhere around Manta. Don't really know. Yeah, I think I just clicked somewhere close to Manta, like somewhere here. Maybe even like here, Santa Ana somewhere. Could be. I don't think it's down here, like Santa Elena. should be close enough. Yeah, just around Manta. Makes perfect sense. Ooh, okay, we have some interesting flooded fields here. I've seen that a couple of times. Like not far from Guayaquil, like somewhere around here, I would say. Somewhere. That's what I'm thinking. And I think the landscape fits. I mean, it is very flat. In general vibe is this valley here. I think I'm just gonna go for it and... okay, not that close. I guess this makes sense. Interesting. Yeah. Close enough, I guess. Ooh, okay, here we have some stuff to see. We have a holy pole. That's quite interesting. Oh, and basically a very thin Brazilian pole. That is very nice. Both of them you find mostly in the south, mostly in Loja province. Like sometimes around here and yeah, in El Oro province. I've seen some holy poles in like downtown Ambato and I think also in Quito, but they are not very common. The chevrons, I think they are just the offset chevrons again that we had already. That's also a Brazilian pole. And in general, the landscape with these like not forested mountains is a very southern thing. Which of these roads was a concrete road? I mean, this one is, I think. It would make sense, I guess. So I think I'm just gonna go for it. Ah, yeah, south of Loja. Okay. Yeah, the very south of Ecuador is a region that you can usually get right. You have a lot of pole meta, you have the chevrons, which I don't think there's anyone besides me who has looked at this. And it's not really a 100% thing. But yeah, also just in general, the landscape, the mountains, you usually get the south. Okay, it is very, very dry again, which means probably that we are in Manabi again. And I think we are just close to Manta again, like there's some random roads over here. I don't know, I'm just gonna click somewhere here because this is what it looks like. Yeah, pretty close. I don't know, there's not much to say once you have seen this a couple of times. It's basically free. Okay. Not yet sure what to make of this, but I get a slightly southern vibe again. But I could also be very wrong. Maybe we are more central somewhere. I really cannot tell. I'm generally not good at... Ooh! We have a holy pole. That changes things quite a bit. So I think we are down here now. Let's see. Yes, pretty close. That's nice. Oh, we have a railway. That is interesting. As far as I know, there are basically only 2 railways in the entire country. One from Guayaquil, Milagro, Alausi, and all the way up to Quito. And one from like, was it like Ibarra to the border or something? I don't really know. I actually have no clue where we are. Probably could just be somewhere random, like in Ambato. That makes sense with the volcano there. It's kind of northwest even. That's interesting. I don't know where that would make sense. I think I'm just gonna click Quito and I don't know. It was not Quito, it was Ambato. But yeah, that is the railway that continues up all the way to Quito. Yeah. Okay. I'm not good at these kind of locations, I must say. I think with locations like these, it really comes down to distinguishing individual roads, like what are the curbs, like what is the middle line. In this case, we have a single yellow line, not like a double yellow and stuff like this. I think these locations are really, really tough unless you can really distinguish every single road. But it's interesting, the terrain seems to drop to the east. That is interesting, but I mean, it could just mean we are coming down from like the highest peaks over here into the central valley here. I guess more or less. Oh, it's some tiny white road even. Okay. I mean, okay. That is pretty much impossible, I guess. This is some kind of mountainous, but not really like crazy Andes level mountainous stuff. So I guess we are somewhere here in Manabi. That's where you get these kind of mountains. There are some roads that go over the mountains here. I think even the E30 in some places is like a tiny road like this. So I could even imagine that we're somewhere here, or I don't know, some other small road somewhere here. Don't really know, but I think this is Manabi, somewhere in these mountains here. Okay. Some tiny white road again. Okay, we have some concrete road again. We finally see some chevrons. This is the normal pattern you see for the bolts on the chevrons. And this is very interesting, this kind of logo. So I have seen this logo over here on the E15 and E40 between Manta and Guayaquil, mostly. And then I think it is on the E30 here as well. Yeah, on the Ecuador label, exactly. And then on sometimes you see it like down here on the E35. So yeah, I'm taking a look at my cheat sheet. I have indeed mapped out all the chevrons all over Ecuador, and I'm looking for this. Yeah, exactly. It's mostly from Manta to Guayaquil. Not really common at all over here. And on the E35 down here. The question is, what does this look like? I don't think these are concrete roads. But I mean, I guess maybe in parts this is a concrete road. I don't know. Maybe somewhere around here some bend like this could make sense. But that's the best guess I have. I mean, the E35 here is a concrete road. But is it up there high in the mountains? Like, I don't know, it feels more coastal to me, you know? So I'm just gonna go with this, and we are... Oh yeah, okay. All these bends, I didn't see that, but that makes a lot of sense. Still barely in Manabi province. But yeah, that's... I don't think... Like, this road is usually pretty recognizable, because it's usually pretty dry as well, and just guessable, because you have the coast there. But I would not have guessed this road without the chevron here. That's kind of cool. This one is surely... We have chevrons with 2 bolts. They're kind of everywhere, and yeah, I don't know. I don't like them. I'm getting some vibes. Tell me this is like east of Andes somewhere, but somewhere on some random road here. Huh, sure. I will take that. But yeah, right. I remember. Now I remember. This is the only place east of Andes with the chevrons with 2 bolts. I actually do remember now. I've been confused by this in the past before. Okay, this again, first thought is east of Andes. We have square chevrons with, I don't know where the bolts are. These lines with like one solid line and like kind of faded stuff below that. That was somewhere over here. I definitely forgot where it was, but somewhere over here, like in this section maybe. Yeah, I think that is correct. So you get like from Tena to Puyo, you get these kind of road lines, if I remember correctly. I mean, apparently you get them. These are the kind of locations. The only thing you can do is just vibe, I guess. My vibe would be somewhere around Santo Domingo, maybe north of it, maybe one of like, these roads or something. I don't know. There's a palm tree. You get these kind of palm trees. This is a different palm tree. I don't know if I find any others. No, but I've seen these quite a lot around Santo Domingo, so maybe that is actually a thing. Yeah, I mean, that's very nice. Ooh, that is some dry stuff here. Interesting, interesting. Could be a few things. I mean, we are obviously in the middle of the mountains here, and it being this dry happens in a few places, unfortunately. Like around like Alausi here and like north of Quito and like in this area, yeah. And probably a million other places that I am not aware of. I think we are somewhere here, like on the E10 climbing out of this valley here. I would say that makes most sense, and that is indeed where we are. Don't really know what to say. I mean, just having looked at all the roads before, that's just what it looked like. The bollards and everything is not specific at all to this area, so yeah. I'm really not good at this kind of stuff. We are somewhere in the like valley-ish. Could be around Ambato, could be just around Quito. Like I'm thinking like around here maybe. Could also see it being somewhere here or in many other places, I guess. I think I'm just going with this, as you see a lot of these trees over there, and in general it is pretty dry north of Quito. I mean, I guess close enough. Yeah, I will take that. This one. Don't really know what to say here. It probably is just somewhere in the west in this general flat area. Probably just somewhere like here. Maybe. Okay, we finally get some city locations. I don't really know. Is that a yellow plate? That's interesting. Don't really see anything on the taxis that makes sense. These lamps I've only seen them in Quito. So I guess that's what I'm going with. Landscape, sure, makes sense for Quito. We have this big mountain here and some other mountains like here on the other side. So it would make sense if we are just somewhere in the middle here, and yeah, we are indeed. That's nice. So I think I will play one last game here, and this is some tiny dirt road that I definitely don't want to guess on. Is this east somewhere, like some random road over here? Kind of. Just downtown Nueva Loja. I don't know what to say here. This, however, should be south again. Like, I don't know, just with this like beige rocks and earth or whatever, and just the general vibe is somewhere south, somewhere here. What do you have here? Interesting. Somewhere in the mountains again. So yeah, this is once again somewhere high up in the Central Valley. I don't really know where, to be honest. Some random road. Maybe this would make sense with the angle. Okay. That was surprising. I don't know, it's really, really hard to guess in my opinion, because you get the same kind of vegetation everywhere here, and yeah, that was a pretty lucky one. And this is again probably somewhere. Ooh, it says something here. That is good to know. Yeah, right. This road all the way up here has on the north side it has a yellow outer line all the way from Tulcan to Tofino. Don't ask me why, but that is where we are, I guess, and that's what it says here, I guess. So we should definitely be somewhere here. Very, very cool, very niche meta that I just happened to know. And for a last location, we get this. We get some Australian bollards. That is good. That is some fun stuff. And a concrete road and these chevrons with 4 bolts, but they are square. Like they are not. I guess they are the same. They have like offset towards the front, just as you find down here. But these are different chevrons. They are like squared and like different, you know. And you find them over here on the E15, like I think on like this entire section then. And that is also a concrete road, and it has Australian bollards. Now Australian bollards exist over here, and I've also seen them around Mashallah quite a bit. But in this case, I guess we have to be on this road. I don't know, I'm just clicking somewhere here, and yeah, a bit further north. But yeah, very nice. Okay, so before we end the video, there are a few more things that I think are worth mentioning. One thing is this, and I'm almost surprised that we didn't get this in the rounds I played, because you see it quite a lot. These are the Guayas guardrails. They are like, yeah, yellow, black striped. Usually they are, maybe not up here. Down here we should, yeah, they are like angled or like even, yeah, even have arrows on them. That is a thing that you usually find only in Guayas province, which is, well, easy to remember because that's where Guayaquil is. There are a few exceptions to that, like over here in, yeah, Puerto Viejo, or down here near Cuenca. I mean, I don't know. This is quite obviously not Guayas province, I would say. So it's a pretty reliable meta. I have never been fooled by that in game. So these guardrails are Guayas province. Now I have looked quite a bit at chevrons. Like this one is maybe worth mentioning. You get like 3 bolts in a vertical configuration like this, and that's mostly found over here. And that's where you have, yeah, it's pretty hard to see here, but you should have rounded corners here as well. Down here, they should have square corners, like actual sharp corners, you know? Hello, can I click this? Yeah. And then you find some here around Quito, or north of Quito as well. This one over here is just on the 487. You get just, it's hard to see here, get just 1 bolt in the middle. The northern chevron is kind of helpful. You have the bolts are pretty far at the top and at the bottom. Yeah, this is the normal chevron that you find pretty much everywhere. And then if you compare it to the northern chevron, the bolts are way further at the top and the bottom. That's what you find here. So yeah, there are many more very obscure ones like this one. They all look like that for some reason. Like, I don't know what happened to them. There are some other random ones like the Alausi one where you have 1 bolt like slightly below the middle and 1 at the top. Yeah, the offset one in the south, I already showed that. I think there's way more stuff to uncover, but yeah, whatever. I'm getting ahead of myself. This is it for this video, I guess. I hope you learned something, and I will definitely make more stuff like this in the future, so it would be nice if you subscribed or something, and I will see you next time.